What's up guys, EJ here back with another video, and today is going to be my 31 days of horror update, days 6 through 10. If you guys missed the first video, days 1 through 5, I'll put a link in the description if you want to check that out. So these are the 5 horror films I watched over the past 5 days. I'm going to talk a little bit about each one. So on the 6th day, October 6th, I watched The Queen of Spades from 1949, directed by Thorold Dickinson. And this is an interesting film. It's set during early 1800s St. Petersburg, Russia, and gambling is all the rage amongst the population. And a cavalry officer is he's too poor to put in his stakes, but he wants to know the secret of a famous countess who has found a way to win at cards, and it turns out she's actually sold her soul to the devil to gain this secret. Old woman played by Dame Edith Evans. Very good performance by her. This film was quite interesting in the way that it's shot. Certain scenes reminded me of German expressionism films from the 1920s. Reminded me of the film Faust, great film. Stuff like The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari and Nosferatu. So that's Queen of Spades. Okay, up next I watched on the 7th, Night of the Demon from 1957. Now this is the British version. Curse of the Demon is the shorter US version. Directed by Jacques Tourneur and starring Dana Andrews, Peggy Cummins, and Niall McGuinness. Interesting movie as well. It starts out with a shot of Stonehenge, and it's all about these rune stones. This American psychologist flies to England to study this cult and its leader. There's a very interesting death at the beginning of the movie involving a demon, this fire demon that's sort of conjured out of magic and mystery. It was a pretty cool film. I was surprised by the visual effects especially. So that's Night of the Demon from 1957. Now we move on to the Vincent Price films that I've been watching. Up first we have House on Haunted Hill from 1959. I just saw a picture of Priscilla's poster that she got of this movie, Miss Horrorchick, 1987. This film, directed by William Castle and of course starring Vincent Price, is loads of fun. Vincent Price and his wife invite 5 strangers to spend the night in this house that's had a history of death and murder. There's been like 7 murders or so. And I found the house, I was surprised that the house was a lot modern looking than I thought it would be. I thought it'd be like a old haunted mansion type of house. But it's very modern looking, the house itself. And the woman who plays the wife, Carol Omart, I believe her name is, stunning blonde woman in this film. And there were some great moments in this. I love the scene where what the girl is like in the wine cellar, and she just walks into this room and she's looking around, and then one of the caretakers just comes out of nowhere like this and scares the living crap out of you when I saw that. And it's got some great moments with a vat of acid in the wine cellar and the skeleton. This was loads of fun. House on Haunted Hill from 1959. Okay, on the 9th, I watched another Vincent Price film, and that's the Fall of the House of Usher, or just House of Usher, it's also known as, from 1960, directed by Roger Corman, and again starring Vincent Price, Mark Damon, and Myrna Fahey. Mark Damon goes to visit the House of Usher to see his betrothed, played by Myrna Fahey, Madeline Usher, and her brother Roderick is played by Vincent Price. And she's basically been bedridden because I'm not exactly sure why she's dying in a way, and he wants to take her out of the house and marry her, but Roderick Vincent Price would allow it. Um, the whole history of the Ushers is filled with evil. All their ancestors are renowned criminals and murderers, all sorts of bad people, and this whole house is sort of been cursed with this evil. And eventually, Vincent Price ends up burying his sister alive in a casket, and she sort of comes back to exact her revenge. Very interesting, based on the Edgar Allan Poe book, of course. This was loads of fun in color as well, which I liked. Yeah, very cool film, The Fall of the House of Usher. Okay, for the 10th, last night, another Vincent Price classic. I watched The Tower of London, or just Tower of London, from 1962, again directed by Roger Corman. And of course, it's the classic story of Richard III, who basically schemed and plotted and murdered his way to the throne in England. The film starts out with his brother, Edward IV, on his deathbed, and he names his other brother, Clarence, as the protector of the realm, because his two sons are too young to become the next King of England. Excuse me, he's still sick, as you can tell. Yeah, he has two young sons who are too young to become the next rulers. So he names his other brother Clarence, and in a fit of rage, down in the cellar, Vincent Price as Richard murders his brother, stabs him in the back, and then he goes on to kill a bunch of other people. There's a woman that he puts to the rack in the dungeon, the torture chamber, which is a cool scene. And he eventually murders the two sons as well. He locks them up in the tower, and he and his accomplice smother them in the middle of the night in their beds. And eventually all these people he's murdered come back to haunt him, and it drives him mad. Great performance by Vincent Price. This was probably my favorite of the bunch. He's just great as the lecherous and cunning Richard III. Of course, loosely based on the Shakespeare classic as well. Loads of fun. I loved all these Vincent Price films especially. And I'm going to be watching more of them in the coming days. So those are the 5 movies that I've watched over the past 5 days for my 31 days of horror. Days 6 through 10. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I'll see you.
Bond. James Bond.